How are you today? I'm good. Thanks for asking. You're a nice person. You know that? So, yeah, I'm on a strict time budget here. Remember, we're still doing that one take thing. So there's going to be two parts to this episode. Going to finish up the draft recap, analyze the Blue Division, and we're going to preview Week 1. It's going to be super awesome. So let's get right to it. Blue Division, it was a really interesting draft, especially because most of the drunkest people, I think, were in the Blue Division. So there's that. Yeah, we're going to start with what I think will be the last place team. Actually, if I'm honest, I don't really think this is the last place team, but I'll get to that later. This is the team I feel like I can accurately or relatively accurately predict to be in the lower portion of the division. The champion, Allen. We'll just start with my 3 words for Allen's draft are not gonna repeat. Not gonna happen, buddy. Not by a long shot, I don't think. Yeah, you had probably one of the most nondescript drafts I've ever thought of. I mean, I hate to. Your best moment of the draft was round 1, I felt, and I don't know. I kind of like to avoid that for your great moment in the draft, because it's like, you're gonna get a blue chip guy in round 1. So what's the point of being excited about that? But other than that, I mean, I really don't see where you got any great steals. You drafted both Jets quarterbacks. Cool. That was a great move there, champ. And yeah, your worst moment though was not even that. I think your worst moment was when you were almost out of time, so you decided to draft James Starks. Yeah. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that you're not gonna have him by probably week 3. Yeah. So, not going to repeat. I give your draft I'm going to barely give it a C, a passing grade, because, you did fill all your roster spots and you do have some potential there, but I don't think you've got really the strength. I like that you have Steven Jackson, but after you sold off Darren Sproles, your next starting running back, I think, has been Jarvis Green-Ellis. So, about that. Good luck there. Yeah, and I'm predicting you to go 5-8 and get last in the Blue Division. 4th place in the Blue Division I have as Hedgie, and I have Hedgie winning 5 games this year. Same number I had him winning last year, 5 games. I feel much more confident about it this year, so I'm glad for that. I wish you would have waited a little extra to take the Maurice Jones-Drew. I think the 2nd round was a little early, but that's not even your worst moment, I gotta say, buddy. I really think you underestimated how important quarterbacks are in our particular league. Pro tip: when you're reading fantasy mags or fantasy forecasting, one thing you need to remember is our league has a very quirky scoring system. Most leagues only give about 4 points to a quarterback for a touchdown. Our league gives 7 to 10. So when you're reading analysis and projections, try to keep that in mind, that our league has a very bloated scoring system where quarterbacks are concerned. So I think that passing on Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Matt Stafford, that's all going to prove to be a big mistake on your part. I'm working here, honey. I'm just kidding. She can be in here if she wants to. But yeah, I think other than that, you really did have a solid draft. I think you ended up with a good wide receiving core. I think Jay Cutler in the 5th round was a steal. I think he's going to be a marquee caliber quarterback, and you got him at a very, very discounted rate. So good for you on that one. And all things told, your 3 words for this draft, I'm going to say, are big step forward. I think you've really made great strides. and I give your draft a C+. I think you're going to go 5 and 8 this year and really represent yourself much better than you have in previous years. Third place, I have Kevin, and I threw him smack dab in the middle because up is down and left is right, and I don't know what's what when analyzing anything having to do with any of Kevin's teams. 2 years in a row I've watched him draft what I thought were horrible teams, and 2 years in a row he's just surprised everybody. So I don't know. It looks like he's in a bad way where running backs are concerned. He's got Marshawn Lynch and Stephen Ridley heading up his running back core, but I don't know. I mean, really, I don't know. Maybe they're going to be awesome. If ESPN told you they're going to be awesome, well, who am I to disagree? So I gave your worst moment of the draft when you drafted Stephen Ridley in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th round. Not because it wasn't a good value pick for that, not because it was probably the wrong pick, just because I don't agree with waiting till the 8th round to pick your starting running back. I don't necessarily think that's a wise decision. One thing I will say is you have a formidable wide receiving core, so you should be able to use that to your advantage. So I gave your draft a B- because I don't know anything when it comes to your teams, and I'm projecting you to go 6 and 7, make the playoffs, and my 3 words for your draft are total crapshoot. I have no idea if it was good or bad. Second place in the blue division, I'm predicting Jesse. I love your starting rotation, Jesse. I really do. I think your best pick of the draft is going to be the pick you are the most angry about, Adrian Peterson. I think being startled into making a pick actually brought the best out of you. I think you got you're going to have gotten first round production out of a 4th round pick. So I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by how that particular pick goes. Your worst moment of the draft. Oh, I also wanted to say that I do think that Doug Martin is going to be a fantastic pick for you. I think your running back core is going to be pretty steep. However, your worst moment of the draft, I had a hard time deciding. I think Antonio Gates in the 5th round, was a bit of a stretch, and I think that Kevin Smith is going to be a complete dud. He's injury prone, and I think Michael LaSure is going to have him ousted as the starting running back pretty quick here. So as soon as he's off suspension. The one negative I would say about your draft is your team I don't think is very deep. I think your starters are very strong, but once you get past that, you've got a decent backup quarterback, but I don't think he'll ever see the light of day, but that's not really where you want to be deep. In the running back department, I think, you've got 3 guys, but if Adrian Peterson doesn't pan out like I think he will, you're in trouble. And in the wide receiving department, you've got really good starting talent, and if any of your starters get hurt or when they have those buys, it's going to be really interesting figuring out how you're going to piecemeal together that 4th wide receiver that every team needs to have as a viable option. So my 3 words for your draft are strong, not deep, and the depth is the only reason I'm going to limit you to the B+ on your drafting score. I'm predicting you to go 8 and 5 and lose a tiebreaker to me, so 2nd place this year. I'm taking it back from you. I told you I was taking it back, and I'm taking it back. And so my draft, and like I always say, I don't really necessarily like analyzing my own drafts because I'm going to be biased, but so my best moment was one that I took a lot of flack for. I think Kenny Britt is such an outstanding talent. I got him in the 10th round. I think that, he has the one major injury last year, but other than that, he's just been a stud wide receiver for his limited career. Randall Cobb, I feel like, was kind of a rushed reach of a pick for me. I think that he's got the drops, which is going to cause problems in Aaron Rodgers' mind, and he I don't know if there's I just don't know if there's going to be enough balls to go around in that offense for somebody who Aaron Rodgers can't trust to catch the ball and then keep it. So I've already actually dropped him as a result of that. Yeah, I took a lot of gambles. I took some guys that I think are going to have bounce back years, and so because of that, I took a gamble taking Matt Ryan. It ended up panning out because I was able to get Darren Sproles, which shores up my running back core once Ryan Matthews comes back off that injury, most likely in week 2. It'll be I'll have Darren Sproles and Ryan Matthews, which I think will be a very sneaky, deadly running back core. So my theme for my team, my 3 words, is deep, talented gambles, because I think I have a lot of depth on my team, a lot of talent, but there's some gambles based on injuries or character concerns. But I also predicted myself to go 8-5, so that I think I'll go 9-4 at least. But I don't want to be accused of inflating my own numbers and winning a tiebreaker versus Jesse. Devin, when he let me know what the schedule is going to be for this week, he said it's rivalry week, so he wants to keep some of the rivalries. He likes to start, I've noticed, with the rivalries and create some new ones. So we'll start with Alan versus Kevin. I just said how I have no idea about Kevin, and I really honestly think he has the worst team in the blue division, but I've never seen him finish last, so I picked him to finish 3rd. However, I have to go with my gut on the picking his week by week, and I just don't think, I think his lack of running back talent is going to be his undoing. So I am picking Allen to narrowly defeat Kevin. Jared versus Nico. This is a very intriguing matchup because I'm really excited to see if Jared comes back strong like I think he's going to. I'm interested to see if Nico's team is able to do anything, because I really don't think they will. And as a result, I have Jared beating Nico, even though ESPN disagrees with me. I just think that Nico's running back core of Cedric Benson and Rashad Jennings, and when he's relying on Jordy Nelson, who's a great number 2 wide receiver, but I don't think he's number 1 wide receiver talent. I just don't think that Nico will be strong enough to overcome that. JVS versus Hedgie. I have JVS winning that game. I like your team, Hedgie, but I think Justin just is going to be too strong for you this week. I think his running back core is just so good. Darren McFadden and Reggie Bush with the pass-catching ability. Justin has Tom Brady starting at quarterback, which you got a great deal, Hedgie and Jay Cutler, but Tom Brady's obviously, class of the NFL. And I think it'll be a little too much for you this week, but don't worry, Hedgie, I still have faith in you for this year. Next game on the docket would be me versus Jesse. This would be a true, in the spirit of rivalry week game. There's nobody in this league that I enjoy beating more than Jesse, and so that's going to make this a great week for me. I was talking about how I thought I'd have a tiebreaker. I think this is the beginning of me winning the tiebreaker on Jesse. I'm really obviously counting on my team to be the Aaron Rodgers show. Jesse has one of the only quarterbacks in the league that I think could match up with the Aaron Rodgers show. Matt Stafford is a very good quarterback, but I think that my team is deep enough, especially... Would you be quiet, Lily? Once I got Darren Sproles, I think my team became definitely strong enough top to bottom to be able to match up with Jesse's very strong core of players. And I think the fact that Adrian Peterson is not quite back from his injury yet is going to give me the narrow advantage I need to win this game. The most intriguing matchup, the GOT dubs for this week, is between BG and Devin. I think I have BG edging out Devin. Oh crap, I'm running out of time. I have BG edging out Devin. Like I said, I thought BG was going to be awesome. So that's Steve Shack for this week, and hope you enjoyed it. Gotta go.